Good news, everyone! BMW is showing us the 1300 RT and RS. That completes the lineup. The touring models bring the 1300 series to a close. Stay tuned for all the info. Right, now it is time for the new family members, the RS and the RT. The 1300 models, of course, get the same 1300 engine already known from the GS, and I will only go through it very briefly because you already know it well. Peak power is 145 horsepower at 7,750 revolutions, and we have 149 Newton meters of torque available. So a little more than the previous models. We have the shift cam system inside. The gearbox is mounted underneath the engine for better weight distribution. A new addition to these models is that the carbon drive now requires regular maintenance. Also, standard equipment includes a 2-in-1 stainless steel exhaust system. I will move straight on to what these two models have in common. Both offer 3 riding modes: Road, Rain and Eco. Previously the dynamic mode was also standard, but they decided against it, replacing it with Eco mode, which artificially limits the torque. I will cover the riding modes again when we discuss each model individually. That was the common ground, so let us move on to the RS. Once again, BMW has only provided renderings, so I do not really know what the bike looks like in real life. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments about it. Personally, I would prefer a few real photos to get a better idea of the bike's looks. What stands out is that the R1300 RS has been designed to be much sportier and more dynamic. I think the narrower build of the 1300 engine compared to its predecessor benefits its aggressive look. Interestingly, the rear is a bit more raised. It really embodies that more dynamic spirit. And that is interesting because the seat height has actually been lowered by 10 millimeters. There is also a new frame, a combination of sheet metal mainframe and a bolted aluminum rear frame, just like on the GS. Also new is the 47mm upside-down fork in the suspension system. Standard on the RS is already the ESA suspension. At the rear we have the Evo paralever system, and at the front the 47mm upside-down fork. Front suspension travel remains at 140mm. The rear Evo paralever system now offers 10mm less travel than before. Optional DSA suspension is available, allowing both damping and spring rate adjustments. That means you can stiffen the spring rate for more dynamic riding, which is unique in this segment, and there is even more regarding dynamic improvements. 17-inch wheels were already standard, but now the rear tire has grown to 190mm in width. We have lighter cast wheels, with BMW claiming a total weight saving of 1.4 kilograms compared to the previous model. Moving on to ergonomics and equipment for the RS. I already mentioned the dynamic focus, and the riding position has become sportier as well. The previous RS was very comfortable, but now the handlebars are further forward, giving better front-end feel. If you still want that older comfort-focused setup, BMW offers a comfort handlebar in the accessories. For those planning longer trips, BMW also offers an optional electrified luggage system with USB-C ports in the left pannier and top case to charge your phone, sat-nav or whatever you do not need to access immediately. BMW, as always, allows extensive customization. There are heated seats for rider and pillion, different windscreen options, all available in the BMW configurator. I will put the link below the video so you can design your dream RS. Now, the electronics and rider aids. You can fully load up your RS if you wish. Standard is the 6.5-inch TFT display, which we know well by now. Basic operation remains unchanged and connectivity features are the same. Newly, the Eco mode replaces Dynamic in the standard setup. If you want Dynamic and Dynamic Pro, you will have to pay extra. Standard equipment includes cruise control with braking function. Optionally, there is the riding assistant package with active cruise control, front collision warning, rear collision warning and lane change. Optionally, for the first time on an RS model, there is also ASA, Automated Shift Assistant. If you are interested, check out my video comparing the BMW GS ASA against the standard gearbox. It will behave similarly here on the RS. Optional Headlight Pro with cornering light is also available. The RS will come in 4 variants. Racing Blue Metallic as the base version, Black Storm Metallic, also called Triple Black, a performance variant with a higher seat and other extras, and Brooklyn Grey Metallic under the Option 719 package, which will surely cost a hefty premium. Before getting into pricing, let us quickly look at weight and payload. BMW has managed to save weight in places. The new GS engine is much lighter than the old 1300, and the wheels are 1.4 kilograms lighter. However, surprisingly, the 1300 RS has gained 2 kilograms over its predecessor, and the payload has shrunk to 215 kilograms from 217. So, what will you have to fork out for the R1300 RS? It will start from 16,950 euros in Germany without any options and in its basic configuration. And now, moving on to the RT, when I first saw the renderings of the BMW R1300 RT, I thought, well, that certainly makes a statement. You will definitely stand out with this motorcycle. Whether it is actually more beautiful, well, I will let you be the judge. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments about the very distinctive look of the new RT. Personally, I thought the previous RT already set a high bar in terms of touring comfort. The new one looks a bit more compact, not quite as bulky. I am curious to see how that plays out in real-world riding. Let us first talk about the chassis and the fundamental components. As mentioned, the engine is the same as discussed earlier. The RT features a new steel mainframe and an aluminium rear frame. It also comes equipped with the Evo telelever at the front and Evo paralever at the rear, fully electronically adjustable as standard. At the front, you get 149 millimeters of suspension travel and at the rear, 158 millimeters. Now here is where it gets interesting. Optionally, you can equip the RT with DCA, Dynamic Chassis Adjustment. In simple terms, this means you have two different vehicle geometries in one bike. You can set it either for dynamic or comfort-oriented riding. The dynamic setup is reserved for the Dynamic and Dynamic Pro riding modes, while the comfort setup dominates in Eco, Rain and Road modes. What does the dynamic setting do? At the rear, preload is adjusted to raise the bike by 30 millimeters. At the front, the increased spring rate gives you an additional 8 millimeters. So overall, the bike sits higher, the steering head angle changes, and the geometry becomes more front-heavy, improving lean angles. And the best part, this adjustment happens automatically. Above 20 kilometers per hour, the bike lifts itself, and below 10 kilometers per hour, it lowers again. I am very curious to see how well this works in practice. Speaking of which, Sonko will be the lucky one who gets to test ride it at the end of May and report back to you on how it feels in real life. Just like the RS sibling, 1.4 kilograms were saved in rotating masses. Both front and rear wheels are 700 grams lighter each. Also, like on the RS, the RT now comes with a 190 millimeter wide rear tire instead of a 180. Now let us talk about ergonomics and equipment. Although we are talking about the most comfortable motorcycle in the 1300 lineup, BMW has tried to create a more active seating position. The seat height starts at 780 millimeters, making it relatively accessible. The triangle between legs and upper body has not changed much, but the handlebars have been moved further forward, aiming for a more active riding posture with better front-end feel. Also, the handlebars are now wider and less swept back towards the rider. Now we come to the topic of wind and weather protection. This is quite exciting. On the fairing, there are adjustable elements on both the left and right sides that influence the airflow. Optionally, you can also adjust them vertically, raising and lowering them. I am genuinely curious to see how well this works in practice. Otherwise, the seat itself can be varied by 20 millimeters in height and can be tilted, as we already know from the GS. The RT comes as standard with two side cases, each offering 27 liters of storage space. But if you want to go all out, there is even more available. What do I mean by that? If you want to offer your pillion passenger a truly luxurious experience, unlike any other motorcycle I know, BMW has integrated USB ports into the electrified new Vario case system, with ports in the left pannier and the top case. Optional extras include seat heating, which is quite familiar, and heated grips on both sides. In the large top case, which holds 54 liters, even the backrest is heated. So honestly, it does not get much more comfortable than that. Of course, there are also various audio options. You can install a complete sound system in two different configurations. All of these features are optional, and once again, I will point you towards the detailed written review, where I will list everything comprehensively, because it would simply go beyond the scope of this video here. Moving on to electronics and rider assistance systems. When you climb aboard, the first thing that jumps out is still the extremely wide 10.25-inch TFT display with integrated navigation. It is optional but very familiar by now, just like the well-known rider assistance systems, front collision warning, rear collision warning and lane change assistant, as seen on the RS. But the RT goes a step further when it comes to lighting. The RT comes standard with full LED lighting, like all the others, but it is equipped with the Headlight Pro system, which really takes things to the next level. Headlight Pro features additional LEDs, 16 for the low beam, 31 for the high beam, and offers adaptive light modes. This means the beam changes depending on speed. And a brand new feature, it has a pitch compensation function. What does that mean? When you accelerate, the headlight adjusts downward by 0.5 degrees, and when braking, it tilts upward by up to 3.5 degrees. As far as I know, that is a real innovation in this segment. Naturally, the RT now also offers ASA, Automated Shift Assistant, for the first time. I reckon many riders will opt for it, because if you are already building such a luxury tourer, you might as well skip the manual shifting too. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Like the RS, the RT will be available in 4 variants. The Alpine White as the basic model, the Triple Black, called Black Storm Metallic, the Impulse Grey color scheme for a sportier look, and the Racy Blue Metallic paint for those seeking a sportier touch. Finally, there is the Blue Ridge Mountain Metallic paintwork as part of the Option 719 package for those who want something even more exclusive. Speaking of exclusive, let us now move on to the price. What will this beauty cost? It will start at 22,890 euros in Germany for the basic version. A quick note on the topic of weight. Despite the savings on rotating masses and the lighter engine, the RT has still gained 2 kilograms. Fully fueled, at 90% fuel level, it now weighs 281 kilograms. So, definitely not a lightweight. And with that, I would like to move towards a bit of a conclusion. BMW is truly cramming everything imaginable into this 1300 series, from adjustable spring rates to all sorts of optional extras. On one hand, it is fantastic and impressive to see what is technologically possible. On the other hand, it does raise the question, is this the right direction? Is it already too much for you out there? Naturally, these developments are also pushing us into absurd price regions. If you fully equip an RT in Germany, you will easily break the 30,000 euro mark. So the big question is, does this still appeal to you? Feel free to let me know in the comments. Otherwise, do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you will not miss any BMW news or anything else happening in the motorcycle world now and in the future. Thank you very much for your attention. We will hear and see each other again next time. Ciao.